All right. So the initiatives and projects, my dream, my vision for the community, because I am from West Rural St. Andrew, and I've seen us suffer over the last 30 odd years, right? From the businesses that were there, the factories before it closed down. I used to teach at the training center in the general area in Above Rock, and I was there when it was closed down. And many residents in the surrounding communities have suffered because of the lack of the training center. And I look on it and I say, okay, what do they want the people to do? There's no more farming. They shut down the factory. They shut down. What do we do? Okay, we have people. People are resources. We have the nature around us. We are surrounded by springs. We are surrounded by rivers. We are surrounded by beauty. We have historic churches. And in the research, I realized that most of the traditional churches, they're historic. For example, this year, Jamaica celebrates a big 190 years of emancipation. That's a big feature, right?
190
So
year this year.
190 years this year. Remember,
Okay.
1834 is
Yeah.
when we got emancipation. Okay,
Okay.
so it's a big year this year. So I said, as such, let me open a virtual community tourism center, right? It's like a visitor center. Since I don't have the physical space, let me do it on Facebook and start gathering the information and the people so we can have an event later on, okay? So I said, let me invite people from the diaspora, local visitors to follow the page and share with us pictures of the past from the community. I wanted pictures of the old buses, the irons, the different things that used to happen from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
What the churches look like, what the community look like, and we try to preserve our history. Because we are not doing it here, we weren't taught by the colonists to do it. They were the one who used to do it, and when they left us, they took what they had. So we have been raped over and over again, right?
Mm-hmm.
You understand that, sir?
Yeah.
And that's how I said we've been disenfranchised.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let us know we are responsible for ourselves. So through community tourism, I believe we can build our own brand, we can build our community. We don't have to rely on politics. We can build businesses from this. So I say, okay, we have our people, we can build roots tourism. Many countries do roots tourism. We have faith tourism with the religious, with the churches, right? We have the Catholic Church in Above Rocks over 177 years. We have the only Native Baptist Church in the region in Salisbury Plain, right? There's another one down by Zion. We have the United Methodist Church. We didn't even know that the Almond Hill Methodist Church and the local Park Road School came from United Methodist. We thought it was the Wesleyan Methodist, but the research that I did led me to that. And as such, they are celebrating a huge milestone this year, which they didn't know. They didn't
Mm.
have the date, but the research led to this. This is why research is important. So,
Yes.
so I also saw through my trek to Cavaliers, I went to St. Christopher's Anglican Church. I realized that they were built in 1894, so they also have a celebration this year to do.
Look
I
at
went
that.
up by Rockall to the Lady of the Lord's Catholic Church, and they're gonna celebrate 100 years this year. Many
Mm.
people don't know that all these communities are within close proximity. They're in a little circle. If everybody come together, we can have a huge festival. We can build, have a community tourism where people can come and visit the various communities because
Yeah.
relatives
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
they're dispersed around there. And then we have Glengorf. Glengorf was like, okay, they're in St. Catherine. How do they come into the mix? Glengorf is a historic community, also underserved, but they won the Social Development Commission's award for community development some years ago. Another reason why Glengorf was included was that when I was doing my family tree, Emily Satchel married a Reynolds, some Rennells, and he came from that community in St. Catherine, down by St. Faith. So I
Mm.
included it. The Grateful Hills Church was a Wesleyan Methodist church, and it's also very historic. It's written about in several books. So
Mm-hmm.
that's another site. If you go to Glengarth, you could say, okay, let me look on the Grateful Hills School instead of just going to a church or going to one little location. You could make several stops in a community, right? In the book I also put maps in there. So if you want to know how to get there, you can drive from Stony Hill, you can drive from Kansas, you can drive from Rockall, you
Oh,
can drive
okay.
from
That's
Bagua.
that's cool.
Yes,
Yes, that's pretty cool.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, help you. So you can Google map it, you can put it, you can look and see what it is like, and you can put it into your phone. If you and for example, if you want to know how to even go downtown, I have included in it the museum downtown, Institute of Jamaica, the National Library. I've put pictures in the book from the 1800s to show how beautiful Jamaica was back then. Civilization. He wrote
Okay.
about his experience. We don't journal, nothing. So what are we gonna tell our children later
Yeah,
on? What are
yeah.
they gonna know if we don't journal
They
anything?
don't know anything about themselves and their history. Yeah.
Their history. But there is hope. The information that is shared by these scholars, Dr. Mamani, Dr. Strong, and Dr. Gail Kenny, it is on the Holistic Healing Ministries Jamaica YouTube page, and I have posted it on my Facebook page called Jamaican Descendants. So people need to come on to Facebook and follow that group. I'm just building the site, but it has a lot of research information where you can go and you can search for your family and build your own family tree, where you can research in different databases that I had to find out on my own. There was nobody who helped me, but I am helping you so you can find your information. You
Sister
understand?
Lisa, it sounds to me like you did a lot of research, a whole bunch of work, man, to get all these information and
A
what you're
whole heap of
doing.
work.
Yeah.
I had to because I had to have proof. When you're doing a certain type of writing, especially if you don't have doctorals, if you don't have a doctorate behind your name and so forth, certain people, the elites and so forth, they won't recognize you. I have an MBA, I have a master's degree, and I'm a trained teacher. And even then, it is still difficult to get my foot through the door for certain things. You understand? So I have had to, even when I went to person and say, okay, this is the book, and the person is refuting that so and so happened. I said, look here, this is history and this is record. It can't lie. The person wasn't born in that period, but they stuck to what they were taught. Is that we're brainwashed. And instead
Yeah.
of opening up our minds to look on the truth and the print and the newspaper and say, you know what, we have a rich history. Some of us are just stuck in our ways. But we say no, we say now is the time for change, now is the time for enlightenment. People, we are a community. And I didn't know we're a community till I did this research. This
Okay,
research show. Okay. So all the estates that are written about in the descendant books have important community leaders, and I want to highlight more than what I have in this book. So I need other volumes. So I'm going to be going into the communities and interviewing people. Okay. The research showed me that I was related to Maroons, Satchel, Smith, Leslie, Lynch, Bar, Walkers. I didn't know we had Walkers in the family. Ramakan, Curtis, Britain. My friends named Britain, I didn't even know we were related to Britain. Lichmore and other people. So what I want to do, my vision this year is if it's possible to do more than just the regular virtual event. I want to do a heritage festival, and we can start it a bit at a time if people buy into the vision. The idea I call it Emancip Fest, okay? And I am making a call for submission for entries this week, starting June 18, with several competitions and activities, including a local recipe book. So if persons are creative and they can write recipes based on the guidelines, submit your entry and it will go into a beautiful recipe book that will print and will call this is the recipe book for the community. So each community that has submitted an entry will be represented. So if Glengarve, Salisbury, wherever we have participants, they will be represented and the persons who name right to their recipe. We have poetry, short stories, and so forth. We want to have an anthology of local writers where we can show their work as well as arts and cultural submissions. Okay, so check our page on Jamaican Descendants this week for information on the contest guidelines. If you also know whomever it is the oldest person in your community, we want the local stories and the photos to put in volume 2 of Descendants. We are also making a call for sponsors, whether it be from the diaspora in the communities or in the extended Jamaica, to assist us with prizes. The little trophy, a gift basket here and there, something, so we can award these people who enter these competitions as well as sponsorship for like a fun day, a bounce about and like a refreshment. So this is what we want to do. I want to call the business people in these areas to come together and see if we can get these sponsors so we can have team competitions and build community relation. We can have a wonderful emancipation celebration. It's possible, I believe. So I implore you to buy into the vision. Support me by emailing bizcoachja at gmail. That's bizcoachja at gmail.com. Okay?
So inviting submissions for our business directory for the virtual community center, and hopefully this can also be extended into the wider community. I would like to compile names, telephone numbers, email addresses, social media information for the businesses, for persons who offer goods and services. So whether you're a hairdresser, you're a mechanic, you have a shop, if you're a JP, people need to know where to or who to come to in the communities to get JP related services. Then we'll be able to list your offerings. Institutions, whether you're a school, you're a library, you're a church. Say you have a church hall and you rent it. We're extended our services for this business directory, and we'd like you to contact us at bizcoachja at gmail.com for more information. In the directory, you can have various sizes of ads published. You can have a full page, quarter page, half page, or even a business card size ad. And then now we will publish the hard copy book or magazine, depending on how the submissions are done. I'll determine the format. So persons can actually have a printed copy for themselves. They can actually buy it online and have it in their homes. So say for example, I am new to the community, I'm new to Red Hills, and I want to know where in Red Hills can I get a lawyer, where can I get a hardware. You will see the name of the hardware business and the telephone number, the email address. Where do we find the police station? And that is very important because now we see where we can't call 911 anymore like that, or 119, because sometimes the numbers are down and we don't know what the cell phone numbers are. So it would be good to have those information at a centralized place. Stony Hill has a fire station. That may be that's the closest fire station to the region, to different communities that are around. So we want to put this civic, just like how you'd have a telephone directory, just like how you'd have a telephone directory, but we want it to be our own internal directory. So say for example, there are authors in the community and they have their information on Amazon. We could get the name of those authors and the book, their social media handles, the telephone numbers, and so forth. If they are ministers, people who will do funeral services, you have funeral homes, whatever it is, florists, gift basket makers. There are many people who work from home who may do other services, transcription services per se. You can advertise in our directory, electronic directory, if you're from the communities that we are focusing on from the Above Rocks region. So Above Rocks community, Almond Hill, Parks Road, Salisbury Plain, Rose Hill, Essex Hall, Cavaliers, Stony Hill, Red Hills, Padmore, Swain Spring, Rock Hall, and Glengoff. Okay, so these are the areas of focus. And if you're in the Lawrence Tavern area as well, we will also accept submission from Lawrence Tavern, because some of the descendants that are in our book also reside in Lawrence Tavern. And in Lawrence Tavern region includes the communities like Mahoney and Rose Hall and these places. So we're focusing on the area where we have descendants. And that's our vision for emancipation 190 years. It's very important. Schools like Almond Hill Primary School, how do you find them? Do they have a website? Um, how many years are they celebrating for their anniversary this year? The church like Lady of the Lords in Rock Hall, how do we contact them? Okay, and are they having anything specific in honor in to commemorate their anniversary this year, their special anniversary this year? So we want to get that information. Grateful Hill, how do we contact them, and are they having anything? Okay, so this is what we want to do. The high schools, the primary schools, the basic schools, it is a virtual community center that is being built, and we want to have physical products as well. And later on, we should see spin-offs. So if persons want to come from abroad to be able to contact these communities, and they want to know who is the local representative, who is the MP, who is the counselor for these different areas in the district, that information should be available in our handbook. So it's like a handbook that tells you about the community, and it highlights people, including leaders. So I want to have in that directory as well features on leaders in the area. So I'm asking for your support. Please support us. Contact via biscosja@gmail.com, and you can also join us on Facebook in the group or on our Facebook page at Jamaican Descendants, JamaicanDescendants. And we're also looking sponsors to help us as well, based on what you may have heard earlier in different areas. So we have a lot of activities coming up. Please support. I also want liaison officers, at least one representative from each community highlighted, the names that I called previously, at least one contact person to join as a volunteer, a committee, so we can officially have a formal group. And when we have a formal group, then organizations like the SDC can actually assist us in various ways. And it is so important for us to be united. In our competitions this year, the theme is solidarity. So for the writing competition, art competition, I want to see that being expressed, how togetherness, how community, how unity helps us, right, in developing our communities. And for the art competition, you can draw, you can use digital art. So if you're someone who's into animation, you are welcome to do your animation as well and to submit. You would own the rights to your pieces. Just make sure you pick a note, put your name on it so we know whose piece it is. And then we will do online voting for persons to get rating to allocate prizes. Okay, we'll do it that way. So if you do a sculpture, make sure that the sculpture represents solidarity, togetherness, your depiction, and in your email submission of the picture of what you created, you make sure you keep your physical item, so when we have a face-to-face function you can put it on display, because the intent is to also have an event, an actual event. We're just trying to put things together to try to get sponsors to come on board. Hopefully we can get some local representatives who may be interested in helping our communities to celebrate 190-year emancipation. It's a big deal. So guys, that's it. Thank you so much. Please share this video and encourage people to submit the entries for the competition, the recipe competition, and the recipe competition, the writing, the poetry, the short story, the art and craft. And there, I was supposed to also post a competition for innovativeness. If you have an idea on how we can build our communities, please write and submit that information to us. How we can grow our community through community tourism as well, please submit that information as well. If you have a creative invention or product that we can make, and you say this is a part of our community, this is the entrepreneur, this is the product that I'm creating, and I'm from this community, please submit and highlight your products that you create in our community as we seek to grow, to make Jamaica a place to live, to grow, to do business. Yes, as our 2030 vision is coming up, and we need to do something to help our nation to achieve its objectives. So thank you very much from Lyssa and Clark. Have a great day. Bye bye.